Ever notice how some celebrity interviews,
Yeah.
they always seem to hit at the absolute perfect time, right when there are all these rumors flying around?
Right.
And it just makes you wonder, like, what's really going on?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today with the fascinating world of Bollywood's power couple,
Oh, interesting.
Aishwarya Rai and Abhishek Bachchan.
Oh, very interesting. A very, very famous couple.
Very much so.
I'm excited for this one.
Yes. So we're going to be looking at this article from One India News, and it was published on October 22nd, 2024.
Okay.
And it really focuses on this interview with Abhishek Bachchan that kind of popped up right as all these rumors were swirling online about a potential divorce between him and Aishwarya.
Classic case of like trying to manage public perception when you're a celebrity, especially if you have a film to promote. It's like the perfect opportunity to shape the narrative.
Totally. And this interview is like a perfect example.
What better way to do it, right?
Exactly. And it's like they're trying to get ahead of the story and be like, no, everything's fine. Nothing to see here.
Yeah. It's like adding fuel to the fire almost. Or, well, maybe the opposite of that.
Yeah. Or trying to put it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Put it out. Yeah.
So just for anyone who needs like a little refresher, Abhishek and Aishwarya were out promoting their film, Gosvi,
Okay.
alongside actress Nimrat Kaur. And in this interview, he gets asked about Aishwarya, and like he does not hold back.
Oh, really?
He's like laying it on thick.
What'd he say?
Well, he says, quote, "My wife is exceptional at that. She's always been an amazing emotional support for me."
Wow. He really put her on a pedestal there.
I know, right?
Emphasizing her strength like that.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And he didn't just say like, oh, she's been there for me.
Right.
Like he really highlighted the strength she has in that area.
It seems very deliberate. Like
Oh,
every
right.
word was chosen carefully for a reason.
It's like this carefully crafted performance.
It's
like they knew exactly what they wanted to say and how they wanted to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't stop there.
Really?
He goes on.
Oh, this is good.
Abhishek adds this other detail that I thought was super interesting. And it's about Aishwarya's ability to kind of handle all the pressure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He says, "I have always noticed that she has managed to navigate some of the most difficult times in her life with utmost dignity and grace. I really admire that about her."
It's like he's painting this very specific picture of her,
Right.
like strong, composed, resilient.
Exactly.
And it's interesting that he chooses to highlight these qualities, like specifically in the context of their relationship.
It's like he's trying to address it without addressing it,
Right. It's like he's acknowledging that there's like scrutiny without actually like, confirming or denying anything.
Totally. And it's so much more effective than just like coming out and saying, oh, no, we're not getting a divorce.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because then it's like, are you trying to convince us?
Exactly.
Like it makes it a bigger deal.
Yeah. So instead, he's like, oh, yeah, she's so strong, we can get through anything.
And it makes you wonder, like, what difficult times is he even referring to?
Right.
Is it like industry pressure? Is it personal stuff?
Exactly. And this is like, after 17 years of marriage,
Oh, wow.
having a daughter, Aradhya.
Yeah, they've been through a lot publicly.
Well, they've seen it all.
Especially Aishwarya. I feel like she's always under a microscope.
Oh, totally.
Especially in Indian media, there's so much pressure on women
All the time.
about their careers.
Like, I remember when she had Aradhya,
Yeah.
there were all these articles like criticizing her weight.
Oh, gosh, I remember that.
Like, she wasn't losing the baby weight fast enough. And then like,
The pressure.
I know. And then when she went back to acting, it was like, oh, should she be doing that now that she's a mom?
It's like they can't win.
It's impossible.
So for him to say that about her strength,
She's huge.
he clearly sees what she's up against.
Totally. And I feel like he's trying to change the narrative a little bit.
Yeah, instead of focusing on the rumors, right? He's highlighting their strength as a couple.
Yes. And then to like really like solidify everything he says about Aishwarya,
Yeah.
he ends by saying, quote, "I feel very, very lucky to have her as a partner."
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know, right?
Like after everything he just said about her strength and resilience, and then to be like, and I'm so lucky to have her by my side.
That's like out of a movie.
It's like he was reading from a PR playbook.
Right.
Highlight her strength. Declare your undying love and admiration.
Check and check.
Yeah.
Classic strategy.
So like, are we reading too much into this, or is this like a totally calculated PR move?
Well, I mean, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Right.
I mean, that's what's so interesting about celebrity and fame and all of that is that, like...
we only see what they want us to see.
Exactly. Like, it's all so curated, and we're just left to decipher, like, what's real and what's, part of the performance.
It's true.
And it's so easy to get wrapped up in it all, like
Oh, totally.
the gossip and the rumors. But it's important to remember that
There's always more to the story
Oh, we.
than what we see on the surface. Exactly, and we're only getting this tiny little glimpse into their lives.
Yeah, and I think that's a good reminder for all of us to, take everything we see, especially when it comes to like celebrity news and gossip with a grain of salt.
Absolutely.
Because the truth is often way more complicated than what makes it into the headlines.
100%.
Well, that is all the time we have for today's deep dive. But before we go, what's like one big takeaway we want to leave our listeners with?
I think it's so interesting how calculated these interviews can be.
Right.
Like, they're not just chatting with a friend, they have an agenda.
Totally. And as the audience, we have to be aware of that.
We have to engage critically with the information we're given.
Think for ourselves.
Exactly, because sometimes the most fascinating story isn't the one they're telling us.
It's the one behind it.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep diving deep.